Hello, I'm Aiden. This is Grook Moment. This is the channel Blue Gray Flowers, and today I'm here to talk to you about the movie Glass Onion because not 5 minutes ago, finished rewatching it, and I love that movie. Um, the only people that really watch my channel currently are my friends. If you're not one of my friends, thank you for coming. But One thing about me is that I really, really love detectives because I have autism and I have a special interest in detectives, especially Sherlock Holmes. Um, Benoit Blanc, oh god, let me be saying that right. Benoit Blanc is not only Southern, like me, not only gay, like me, but he is a detective and one of my favorite archetypes of the detective, where his style is a la Columbo, where he mainly talks to people and does investigate physical evidence, but does not have the science of detectives, such as what is in a police procedural, a la CSI's Dexter and CIS. Um, other procedurals that have that more sciencey aspect. Um, Detectives like Columbo, Benoit Blanc, Sherlock Holmes in some cases, they look at the evidence, but they aren't able to. Well, Sherlock Holmes not so much. This isn't about detectives, actually. This is about the movie Glass Onion and how much I love it. Um, Part 1, Helen as the Avenging Angel. Helen Brand is one of my favorite characters of all time, which is saying something because most of my favorite characters are detectives. But oh my goodness, what a I'm going to gush for a little bit so that I can actually. I'm doing all this off the cuff. I'm going to gush for a little bit. Helen Brand is one of the best characters because she is genuinely such a great plot twist. I also appreciate how she has a thick southern accent when she's speaking her natural dialect. Not natural. When she's speaking in her natural voice, she has a southern accent. And I appreciate that a lot. I don't know how much twang I have in my voice, but I come from the South, even though I recently relocated for college reasons. But um, uh, there's been a lot of. I feel like some discourse recently has reawakened in which we discuss how the South is usually pinholed as stupid bigots. There are gay people in the South. There are queer people. There are queer and trans people in the South. There are disabled people in the South. There are a lot of people of color in the South, um, and we are not stupid for living there. We that is our home. We come from there, and we should be allowed to have complex feelings that include love about the South. So I know that Glass Onion came out a few years ago. I don't remember when, and I'm not Googling it because that would mean sitting here scrolling on my phone while you're watching. But I think that it's really excellent that both Benoit Blanc and Helen Brand have thick Southern accents, and Helen Brand comes from Alabama and has that thick Southern accent, and I think that's really important. But that's not Helen the Avenging Angel. Um, I'm here to talk about rage. I'm here to talk about the intersection of race and gender. I'm here to talk about a lot of stuff off the cuff. I have a sticky note. That's it. Um, I don't think um I think one of the most cathartic scenes in this world is the scene in which Benoit Blanc gives Helen permission to go ham. Not that you should need a white man's permission to go ham, but I think that it's very important to be able to have a southern black woman express that rage on screen, and I think that it's a beautiful moment of rage because typically um feminine rage is not appreciated. Black feminine rage even more so unappreciated. um the stereotype of black women as aggressive and mannish or hypersexualized can lead people to restrict themselves, just as I'm going to draw comparisons to trans women here because trans misogyny and its intersection and comparison to noir misogyny is important. Um, but like trans women, black trans women feel like they cannot express rage lest they be compared to men, lest they be pinholed as aggressive and what's the word, hysteric, that's it. um so it's so cathartic to see Helen as a black, I almost said black trans woman, sorry, as far as I know, Helen is cis. It's very cathartic to see the black woman be able to express that rage. And clearly, I'm coming from an outside source. I'm a white trans man, but I feel like, based on voices, like own voices that I've seen on both YouTube and Tumblr, um, I feel like I can say confidently that it's nice to see a woman, especially a black woman, be able to express that rage without being demonized. She's the protagonist, she's the hero of this story. And I really appreciated how the disruptors, the shitheads, joined her initially when it was harmless skin deep wounds. They were breaking the glass. If I edited, I would play the clip here, but I'm not, which is good because it could copyright strike. I'm not dealing with that. Um as Whiskey joins her, as Lionel joins her, as Claire, Birdie, Peg, all as they all join her, we see these people who are marginalized in society, but who have clung to the golden tit of this cis head or a white man who has given them the power, who has given them some power. We see as they express rage, and it's so wonderful. But then Helen goes a step too far, and I feel like respectability politics is a really big thing. In my AP African American Studies class in high school, respectability politics was talked to death, and we still didn't touch upon all of it, and we didn't talk enough about it, in my opinion. This is a matter of respectability politics. They see Helen's rage, and they go from thinking it's acceptable when they feel that they can participate in it. And the second that it goes deeper than just anger, when it goes to rage, to ire, to these deeper feelings, they realize that she is not just disrupting as they have disrupted, where they've disrupted a little bit, but they're still working within the system. No, she's the true disruptor. And I feel like that's been said. I definitely remember reading about it, like when the movie was fresher. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. I remember reading about it when the movie first came out, that Helen is the disruptor. That's very clear by the story of the show, like the story of the movie. Not show. And that's the point. Helen is the disruptor, much as in the first in Knives Out, Benoit Blanc gives the disadvantaged woman the opportunity to act. In this movie, again, he also gives Helen the permission and the push that she needs to enact revenge. Helen, the revenging angel, I love you. We should put you in churches. That's a joke. I don't go to church anymore. Helen as the revenging angel is a very potent symbol, and I think because this is off the cuff and I haven't had the time to deepen this analysis more than just I love this movie and I think about it a lot and I just finished rewatching it. Helen as the avenging angel is such a potent thing, and I love that Benoit Blanc is not the one enacting revenge, because a lot of stories, I feel like, and some people could argue this about Knives Out and Glass Onion, a lot of stories have the white savior complex. I feel one of the quintessential examples is like that one movie that I can't remember the name of because I'm doing this off the cuff. A white woman comes in to write the story of previously enslaved people, or um like the black impoverished community that from where she grew up, where there's this idea of the white savior coming in. It's a very common trope. I feel like it's been talked about a lot. I appreciate that Blanc is not a direct white savior. And I think that's enough for part one. Part two, why it's really, really important that the Mona Lisa was real. If the Mona Lisa wasn't real, I feel like that takes away a lot from Helen's revenge, from Helen's action, from her disruption. Very soon after the movie came out, I remember seeing on Tumblr people being like, oh, well, the real Mona Lisa was painted on wood, but it was clearly canvas, burning in the movie, so that means that they scammed Miles Braun and they just gave him a print, and that's really funny. But it takes away from the power of Helen's decision, and it takes away from the idiocy of Miles Braun. This movie is that simple. It's a glass onion. The center is visible. Miles Braun is stupid enough to feel like he needs to be able to speak to the Mona Lisa without that layer of glass in between them. He has the original Mona Lisa because he has that cash to burn. Sorry, I keep pushing my hair out of the way. I need to get a haircut. If Miles Braun is not stupid enough to have the Mona Lisa on display like that, if Helen's agency was taken away from her and it was not the real Mona Lisa, it destroys the point. The point is that Miles gets what he wants. He's always going to be mentioned in the same breath as the Mona Lisa, because it's through his idiocy and stupidity that allowed it to be destroyed. Without that, it doesn't make sense anymore. It takes away the hard-hitting punch. Much in the... I probably should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning. Sorry, guys. If you're watching an analysis video, there's gonna be spoilers. Just as in the first Knives Out movie, where, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. Where the nurse gives the correct medication, like she thinks throughout the entire movie that she's messed up and that she's at fault for his death, and the way that Blanc gives her the validation. Hang on. Sorry, that was a second for you, but I had to answer a text from my dad. Where was I? Just as Blanc gives her the validation and assures her that she is a good nurse, that she did the right thing, Blanc in this movie gives Helen the ability, or like she feels like she needs permission to enact her revenge. So that's very important. Miles Braun is a big old stupid baby, as is shown from the fact that he has never had an original idea in his life. He took the idea of the glass onion from the bar. He took the idea for the company Alpha. Oh my god, that's so stupid. He took Alpha from Andy. He took the murder from Blanc. He took everything from other people. He is the quintessential white man in business. I'm laughing because it's bad how real of a character he is. We'll get to it. But why it's important that the Mona Lisa was real? Because it means that he is suffering. It means that her revenge was real. It means that Miles Braun actually has to face the consequences of his actions. Because if the Mona Lisa wasn't real and the real Mona Lisa didn't burn, it's just another lie. And it's not lying for the truth, it's just lying. And I feel like that takes away a lot of the power of Helen's decision. It takes away the power that she is actually disrupting. I may be repeating myself. Let's move on. Part 3. Elon Musk is a bitch baby. I really hate Elon Musk. You should really hate Elon Musk. Elon Musk is really, really stupid. And Glass Onion came out before he even revealed the breadth of his stupidity, I'm pretty sure. He hadn't renamed X at that point. It was still Twitter. I don't remember if he was in the process of buying it or not. But I feel like Miles Braun as a satire of Elon Musk is not even satire because it's just the guy. Like it's not an over exaggeration. It's just him. That's just Elon Musk. His stupid car, his bad fuel ideas, his ignorance and his purposeful malice in safety regulations. I think that I don't know if it's actually relatively common information, but Tesla, it has been found that Tesla and SpaceX have ignored safety regulations, have Tesla sells its carbon credits, so it doesn't even make up, like, it sells its carbon credits so that other car companies don't have to decrease their carbon emissions, and that's how it makes the bulk of its money. Elon Musk had no safety lines in his factories because he did not enjoy the color yellow. It has been found that there have been many, many non-reported accidents in his factories. There have also been court cases about the racism that has been experienced in his factories. Elon Musk has revealed himself to be a conservative. I don't care if he thinks he's the center. He's conservative. He is anti-left. He is anti-union. He is anti-people living decent lives. Elon, baby, I know this isn't in your heart. Grimes! That is him! He's a capitalist! So Elon Musk is a bitch, baby. Miles Braun is also one. He throws a tantrum at the end of the film and does not seem to realize the consequences of his own actions, just as Elon Musk is constantly digging himself into a deeper and deeper hole. It is so disappointing that this is one of the most rich, famous men in my life. I have to vote this year. I finally get to vote. And not only do I not have any good options, I have to choose a genocidal maniac or a genocidal maniac. I have to choose between a rock and a hard place. And not only do I have to make that hard choice I'm voting for Biden. You should vote for Biden. It is very vital that you vote for Biden because Trump is more of a genocidal maniac. Even I hate that I'm voting for Biden. I hate that I am voting for someone who is repeatedly supporting the Gazan genocide and the deaths of Palestinians, and he is not enacting his promises that he made to eradicate student loan debt or basically anything. He is a weak man. But I'm still voting for him because I would rather a weak man up there that isn't going to enact Project 2025 than someone who has repeatedly called for violence, not only against people like me, that being trans and disabled people, but also Palestinians, Mexicans, anyone that isn't exactly like him. Even his voter base, the poor white Republican, he hates you. And not only do I have to make this choice, I have to make it when realizing or coming to terms with something that I have known for at least 4 years, ever since the pandemic. Billionaires are the ones that have a lot of control. They have the money to lobby. They have the power to enact these hard things. And I will vote, and I will try to feel some sense of voter efficacy, and I will encourage people around me to vote. But it is so disheartening to see how one rich man with bad ideas can take a popular platform that was being used as a news source and he can eradicate it. And there have been reports. I really recommend the channel Some More News. It's funny but also very informative. Hate speech has gone up on Twitter. Comedy is legal, which is just saying slurs, according to Elon Musk. He has restricted use of the word trans. There's been shadow banning. He has taken a platform that already sucked and made it suck harder. I will never get a Twitter. I will never get an X. I'm on a dying platform that also sucks. I hope he die. I hope the CEO of Tumblr dies in a car with hammers thrown at him. Haha. Joking. It's within my free speech. Um, but I hate how there are no good options. And while Glass Onion is a brilliant movie, and I really love it, it is also kind of disheartening to watch it and realize, oh, this is just like an actual guy. Like, this is just an actual guy, and he has the support of people like Claire who claim to be left leaning. He has the support of people like Lionel who are forced to support him because they work for him and he is giving them money. He has the support of influencers like Duke, Whiskey, who has political aspirations. She's sucking on that golden tit and she is trying to get power from him. And it's very disheartening how real that is. And I don't think that I can laugh at it as much as I'd like to. Glass Onion is a beautiful, well-crafted movie. And people are really just like that. Like, people are really just like that. Like, Elon Musk is just like that. I don't want to end this on an entirely sad note, though. I do want to move back a little bit to the intersection of race and gender in the movie, and Helen as a character, and the way that she interacts with Benoit Blanc. As I said in the beginning, I really, really love detectives. My favorite detectives is Sherlock Holmes, and I am currently working on a video in which I rank all of the all of the Sherlock Holmes media I have ever made. I have tons of books checked out on the Libby app. I am currently listening to the Sherlock & Co podcast. I might rewatch, I'm probably gonna have to rewatch BBC Sherlock so that I can cite specific examples. I'm gonna rewatch the Robert Downey Jr. films because I love those. I'm going to find that one Sherlock Holmes film that I watched the first 20 minutes of that has a android woman, a fire-breathing dragon, and a kraken in it. I need to find it again, but I'm really excited to watch that one. But Benoit Blanc. All detectives come from the proto Sherlock Holmes, or all detective media is influenced by the Sherlock Holmes archetype. Benoit Blanc, first of all, thank you so much for making him gay. That's just really awesome. I think like it was very casual. His husband Philip is just there making sourdough bread, and I love that. But the fact that Benoit Blanc is kind, and he is not a detective associated with the police, which is also something I'll be touching upon in the Sherlock Holmes longer video that I'm gonna do. I very much like that he's not a cop. I support detectives that are not cops. What a wonderful character. He is an enjoyable character. He is a good detective. He is skilled. He's smart. He's compassionate. BBC Sherlock Holmes, I hope you die in a fiery death. He's compassionate. He embodies this idea of the detective as a sort of guardian angel, like I referenced the revenging angel. He gives you the chance to save yourself. He gives you the information, and you have to move forward from that. Poirot. I'm so sorry. I don't do French. I'm so sorry. I took Spanish for 5 years. I can't do French. Poirot. Agatha Christie's Mrs. Marple. Agatha Christie did Poirot as well, but I forgot whatever. Poirot, Columbo, Mrs. Marple, cozy detectives, Sherlock Holmes, all of these detectives. A good detective cares about people and is full of love. This is why BBC Sherlock is a failure on all levels. But a good detective cares about people. A good detective is full of love. A good detective offers people security when systems such as the police cannot offer them that security. And in that way, Benoit Blanc is one of my favorite detectives because he embodies one of the things that I really love about Sherlock Holmes and detectives. And that is that he cares and he is a kind person, which is so fundamental because I feel like we're sort of moving away from that idea of like the gritty, dark retelling. Hopefully, please, fingers, God, let us be moving away from the gritty retelling. The grim, dark detective. He is an enaction of a good Batman. He references Batman, but the good detective cares, and Benoit Blanc is a good detective. But back to the thing that this part is actually supposed to be about, which is Helen again. But um, I really, really like that Helen is the main character. We don't understand her for the first half of the movie until she's shot. But when she is shot and we finally get to understand all these things that Andy has done that were so confusing. It is a relief. And rewatching it, God, the rewatch value on this movie, beautiful. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. This is a really good movie to rewatch because it has such care to it. It is so well done. You can see the puzzle pieces coming together when you rewatch it and you realize, oh, that thing that I kind of like my eyes skipped over in the beginning, that is so vital to the mystery. And that's just a well-written mystery, which is really, really nice. I love a well-written mystery. But the fact that both Knives Out movies have had that woman of color who's able to enact violence in a way, but also primarily a way of revenge that is satisfying against these higher class individuals, against these rich people. I think that this is praxis. I may be using that term wrong, but I think that the fact that they are women of color and that being one of the most marginalized communities in our world, with the intersection of being people of color and being women, the oppression that comes with that, the fact that they are able to enact that revenge that is not seen as bad, that is seen as virtuous even. I think that's something really, really good, and I'm not never mind. I'm not advocating for violence. Let me put on my serious hat. I'm not advocating for violence necessarily. I am saying that on this individual level, with these individual families and groups, that this violence, this rage is desirable, that it is excusable, forgivable, virtuous. Not to get like raised with Christian morals on y'all, but I feel like this revenge is good, and sometimes revenge is needed. Yes, eye for an eye, the whole world goes blind, but in this case, I do feel that on a systemic and individual level, sometimes there needs to be that takeover. Because it's not disruption if you're working within the system. It's not disruption if you're just like the average guy being like the cis white man. If you are the average guy and you overcome what like the one axis of oppression, the average person overcomes one axis of oppression because they do not have the intersectionality of multiple axes of oppression, that is not disrupting the system. That is an individual case of overcoming. And individual cases are one of the most popular things in America. We are constantly seeing individual cases. We are seeing a woman CEO who uh what's it called, broke their glass ceiling. We see a woman CEO. Um uh we see these individual axes. We see this one person who manages to adapt and overcome. But we are not seeing systemic change that actually impacts us on a greater level. If one person succeeds, that's good. I do think that we should succeed. But I think that the more important thing is making sure that other people can succeed. And that just because one person managed to overcome this or that axis, but it's more important that if you succeed, you turn around and offer help to those who did not have the same opportunities. Not to. This was supposed to be about Glass Onion. I started ranting. Sorry, I'm working off the cuff. As said, I only have the sticky note, but I feel like you can't show an entire systemic breakdown or disruption, to reference the movie again. You can't show that in one film that still tells a good story and is cohesive and is one film that's a reasonable amount of time to watch. But you can tell the individual story of someone who can overcome this axis of oppression and can inspire further thought. Basically, the two Knives Out movies are actually really leftist if you think about it. And they are not only excellent mysteries, but excellent commentary on our world. Thank you for watching. It's been good. Hi. Hi. I said all that and I finished and I was ready to roll. And then Biden dropped out of the race. Bro, could you have waited one more day? Like, let me finish uploading. But no. My point still stands about A Rock and a Hard Place. I don't believe that the next candidate is going to be that much better, but my point stands. Vote Democratic. Don't split the vote. Please, 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 please. Good options. Good options. Good options. Thank you. I'm going to advertise now, so if you don't want to listen to that, you can leave. I have this channel, yes, but I'm not monetized, and I am a college student who is currently looking for a job because the job market kind of sucks out here. Because I am a college student, I applied to a job, and everybody else there had master's degrees, and it was a seasonal position for a bookstore. I'm not begging for money, but if you would like to check out my Ko-fi, which is going to be linked in the description, I would really appreciate it. I have to buy stuff for college, and also, my boyfriend's car got stolen, and a lot of his stuff was stolen with the car. He did get the car back, but I'm trying to help him replace some items, and I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my Ko-fi. So that I could have some cash to be able to help him make back some of the stuff that he lost. He lost a lot of stuff. But really, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble. Hopefully this Sherlock Holmes video will not take me years. In the meantime, watch out for a Lightlark video because I'm also really autistic about Lightlark. Or anything else that just piques my interest. Thank you. Goodbye.